So there is this thing that is going on for in our community or in this country.
Okay.
When people become rich, wealthy people, and they are talking, one of the things you hear them say is that the youth are lazy, they don't like working.
Yeah.
Is it really true that the youth in Ghana, because we are in Ghana,
Okay.
do not like working, or these wealthy or successful people are just, making up something? Is it really true? I don't know if you have heard some of these things before.
Yeah. I've heard a couple of them, but I think majority of the time it is the attitude that personally I see towards the work that maybe you entrust in someone's care.
Okay.
So basically, maybe the punctuality
Mm-hmm.
is a very big problem for a lot of the youth in the country.
All right.
But I think also that sometimes some of these so-called people in power or position, they also overly do it.
Overly do it in terms of what?
In terms of pressure,
Okay.
and the motivation behind their success and all that.
Okay.
You see the point?
Okay.
Recently, I think someone is with the Yoku.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you see sometimes they will come and then
Yeah.
say all sort of things. But then when it is deep,
It is when we dig deeper, you realize that it's not as it appears.
it is not only hard work.
Okay.
Some dubious ways were also what?
Used.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Because you see, when you are born in Africa, the atmosphere and everything is working against your success in Africa, because the systems, everything will make sure that you don't actually reach your full potential.
Okay.
In Africa, because in Africa we live by pay as you go policy.
Right. That's true.
Everything you have to put money down before you have access.
Rent, you have to pay advance.
2 years.
Car, you have to put money down.
You see the point? So the system is not conducive enough for the youth to liberate from poverty or whatever situation that we find ourselves in.
So are you trying to then say that if the people who are saying that you don't like work, some of them themselves, it's not only just hard work, they have to do some things.
Yeah.
Is that a path that the youth of ours must chart? Is that a path we must chart? Because you are saying that one of the things you are saying is attitude of the youth towards work.
Yeah.
Punctuality and those things.
Yes.
Is that why many of the youth are not successful, and that is why they are looking for some of these shortcuts to be able to make some money?
I think when you talk about success is not an overnight achievement.
Okay.
It's an overtime and consistency.
All right.
But these days, because of social media pressure and all that, you could see someone you sat in the same classroom with, has completed school. Maybe you completed school with the person barely 2 or 3 years later. You could see the person moving a car, doing all sort of big parties, and then moving up and down, making a lot of huge sum of expenditure on parties and all that. So now the pressure now is on you, because this is your classmate whom you sat in the same class with, that you completed the same year, and it's making waves, and here you are at the same place. So per that, now you are also compelled to also live a certain kind of life that it is not what actually is there, because there's difference between status and state.
Okay.
Because your status is what you project, and your state is the actual reality
on the ground. Right.
You see the point?
Right.
Yeah. So for that being said, because social media recently has spiked a lot of people to do certain things that on a normal day you wouldn't find them doing.
So is that contributing to, quote unquote, the youth not being hardworking? Because there was a time, for instance, there was this, I wouldn't want to mention the name though, but there was this actor also who also came and said the youth watch too much movies, they watch too much TV.
Yeah.
So are these
and that the youth are lazy.
The youth are lazy. You can't wake up and be watching sports. You can't wake up. So does it mean all the time you should work? Don't watch movie. Don't watch TV. So what is really is what you are saying why the youth don't want to work and they are rather looking for shortcuts to make money? The social media, the pressure, is that what is contributing? Or our work environment is just not designed well?
The minimum wage in Ghana I think the last time I checked was, I think 19
That's 19 cities.
Yeah.
So almost 20 Ghana cities.
Recently, the president-elect
increased it by 10%.
Yeah.
So it was 18.15, then it was increased to 19.97.
Yeah.
So 20 cities, the minimum wage.
So to even talk about it is still not enough.
Yeah.
Because now you would go to work maybe 9 hours or 8 hours.
8 hours
a day
on the average.
And take home 19 cities. And the cost of living has rise. Per day, 19 cities. I know that we are talking about minimum.
Yeah.
So that's the list.
Yeah.
I know. But the average Ghanaian, that's what we are targeted at, the youth, which is the average, majority of the time, the average people. So an average man is working and taking 19 cities home per day. And then we are also living in a system of pay as you go.
Okay.
You have to buy credit. You have to go and take shower. A lot of people don't have these things in their
house. Yeah.
So you have to go to public commercial ones and all that. So at the end of the day, if you decide to charter on that right path to success, it becomes very difficult. And very
there are people who are making it.
That is why I said success is over time, not overnight.
So I think that there are a couple of things that we are not getting.
Okay.
Like you said, number one, the mindset.
Yeah.
Because the youth today think success can be achieved overnight.
Yeah.
People are coming out of the university, first degree. Yeah. Then the person sits down and say, hey, if I don't get a job that will pay me 4,000, 5,000 a month, I'm not working. Mm-hmm. Then I'm like, you are just coming from the university. Yeah. 99.9% of the time, you don't have anything in your brain that is valuable to any company. Okay. Without due respect. Yeah. Because first degree, you don't have any skills, anything in your brain that will be valuable.
In the universities or in our educational system in Africa,
it's true and poor.
The theory is overly more than the practical.
More than practical.
Basically,
people don't have anything in their brain. Yeah. So you don't have the skills. You just have a certificate, and you think because of that they have to pay you. Yeah. But if the companies are not able to pay you, then they will result into other things. Yeah. So the first thing is the mindset. I think the youth are not looking at life differently, and because of the social media, like you said, I came out from school with somebody. The person is living at what, maybe an apartment, driving a Benz, living a big life. Why can I not do that? Why do I have to wait 10 years from now before I can live my dream life? So in that case, let me do something. So then I wouldn't have to work hard. I would do something else to make the money. But I think if the youth can come to the level where the mindset is changed from, hey, life is in phases, men are in sizes. The fact that you are seeing somebody doing something does not mean that is really what it is. We've been in this country where women have come up and they sit on TV. I work hard. If you're a young woman, work hard. I'm doing this business, doing that business. Only for us to realize later on that they were involved in some shady, criminal, and other things. So you realize that everything is shrouded in dubious manner, illegality, duping people, and people want to do that. But hard work doesn't give you that in the shortest possible time.
And to capitalize on what you said, that life is in phases. You see, when that thing is if that thing is really emphasized on our society, or in our society rather, the youth would have to have a certain understanding that there are moments of your life, maybe for example, you are taking 19 cedis as a minimum wage. You have to be able to make sacrifices, squeeze yourself for a period of time, because you see, when you are able to build some level of capacity and now you want to live the life maybe you want, it becomes a bit easier.
That's true.
But when you start the life and then you want to
all of a sudden
blow up and live like the people who were already in the game before you came, then you'll be found wanting. You'll be doing skirmishes and cutting ways and all that. So maybe you are taking home 19 cedis. Don't go out from your father's house, or be in the family house still, and build the momentum.
Because there are many youths today, they want to have privacy.
What are you doing? What are you doing with privacy?
Like, you are broke. You want privacy for what? Stay in your parents' house.
Stay for the time.
Build capacity.
You see the point?
Build some wealth. Make some investment. Then you can move.
Then deny yourself of certain things that brings pleasure to the human. You see the point? Because at the moment, you have to be able to make some level of sacrifices for the long term.
And that is discipline. No? It requires discipline to be able to say no.
Yes.
I mean, because you have the money. You could go out and buy something, but you are building your life. In 10 years from now, you want to live a certain life. Yeah. So you have to save that money. You have to invest it. So you have to say no. And people are going to laugh at you probably.
And discipline over time becomes habit. There was some time ago, I was in church at ICGC, and Mensa Otabel said something very profound. And the statement was that even at his level, when he said he uses an iPhone, but at his level, when the iPhones are released, he wait maybe when they release 1, 2, 3 before he
upgrades.
You see,
the discipline has become his habit
now.
Right.
Then you don't waste things.
Because every year, you are holding 14, 15
has to prove to then you upgrade. Yes. You are proving to who? Nobody actually cares. I sometimes say that wealth that people are not enjoying they don't care. If you are enjoying, then that place becomes a place of concern for you when there's something happening there, because you know that your source of income or wealth or some level of comfort is about to be blocked.
So how do we ensure many youth actually develop this mindset? Because that's how I see life. Like you've seen me, the things we have done, right? Yeah. That's how we see life. That's how we've built our life. Discipline ourselves, saying no, building capacity before you can live certain life. Today, there are many people, I say this always, driving cars they don't qualify to drive. Yeah. But they just want to impress people. Yeah. But when they park the car, they can't even fill the tank. Yeah. In the evening, they are crying. Yeah. They are weeping. Yeah. But they cannot change that lifestyle because they want to appear to the world.
That's what I said earlier. Because there is status and state. There is status and state. Because your status is what you project to people to see, or what people they themselves
perceive you to see
from afar. Be. When they get closer, they get to see of the real state you are in.
So how do we ensure many youth actually develop this mindset? Because it has to be done.
There has to be intentional campaigns. Intentional. Maybe if the government can even set up certain agency that we can put that even in syllabus in school. That's why I say, you see, in Africa, our educational system is full of theory. But when we come out from the school and you go to the working field, you could realize that you are just holding a piece of paper and there's no experience.
That's true.
You see the point?
That's true.
So if this thing, there's an intentional campaign on it, like, okay, we should stress the need for people to understand that if you want to become someone meaningful in society in the future, there has to be some level of sacrifice that you should make.
And everything worth celebrating is built over time.
Thank you. You can't wake up. That's why this popular phrase was coined, that Rome wasn't built in a day. You can't. You see the point? You can't. It's like a young man going out with a lady, and then you would want to impress the lady as the same way as an old bee would impress his girlfriend or his side chick. You can't. You'll be found wanting in the situation.
Whilst the big man is using his returns on investment to spread, you are using the capital of your life.
Big men, they leverage on interests and do things that if you tempt to consume your capital, and you still be owing. You see the point?
So that is the thing. The mindset of the youth must be developed to understand that the social media, we can't avoid it. Because you open your Instagram, Charlie, somebody is doing something. You see a young boy pulling up in a car, and there are people who are walking around, Charlie, show us the way, show us the way. There is no way anywhere. You have to sit down, build a skill, and be patient that you have to become somebody valuable in the marketplace over 10 years.
Yes.
And it's not just about certificates. But you got to be patient. And this is the message that we have to really drill down into the youth to come to the point that, hey, listen, yes, success is possible, but it must be done over time. Because, if you read the story in this part of the world, we don't have the story of a lot of our successful people, but you refer to Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, you can see, they are alive.
They are track
record, and there are things there.
And you listen to their stories, you kind of resonate with them, that these are practically
things that they did
actually
that you
happened.
can do.
Yeah.
Because Mark Zuckerberg, whilst colleagues were going and chill and doing everything, he and his colleagues, they have locked themselves in the room, writing code.
Yeah.
Bill Gates, the same thing.
Yeah, Warren Buffett is still living at his
old house. And the guy is a billionaire.
That's why I said discipline becomes habit.
So he doesn't need to any flashy car.
Who are you impressing? That's the first point. Who are you impressing? Who? Nobody cares. As long as they are not benefiting, nobody cares. Yes, you have this, you have that. So what should we do? We should wake up in the morning and go to morning devotion because maybe you've been able to accomplish something big that we are not directly benefiting. This attitude is so Ghanaian. We don't care like that.
That is very true. But it's because of the pressure. We have something called peer pressure.
Yeah.
So people also want to put up. But we need to, as you are saying, come to the point and let the youth understand that, hey, listen, enough is enough.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Stop following the things you see on social media.
And parents ought to also take certain part of their responsibility as well. Because you see, the Bible said something. It said, train up a child
the way he should go, so that when he grows up, he doesn't depart.
That is it. You don't leave all the workload to the teachers because you've sent your child to the school.
No, but the problem is that, you see, the thing is actually a generational issue.
Okay.
And it has to take some people with a transformed mind to change it. Who have been liberated to change it.
Okay.
How many parents have seen success?
Yeah.
Have smelled success?
Yes.
Have made money in their entire life?
Yes.
How many parents? 99.9990.
Yeah.
So there is no track record for them.
Yeah.
So there is nothing they can impact to their child that they can also take to go into the future really well.
Okay.
But we have to get to a point in time where some people must rise and say, this is my family trajectory, but it has to be changed for me.
Yes.
But I'm not going to engage in anything illegal, anything unscrupulous, anything unfaithful. I'm going to do legitimate, be patient, and build my life. Because if Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, you can see their life track record, the things they did. Yes, the environment we are living in could be also impeding. But if you work hard and you do the right thing, have the right connections, be with the right people, over time, because that's where the secret is.
Yeah.
It won't happen overnight. It will be over time. Maybe minimum of 10 years. So if people can develop that mindset, then it will work. So I don't really blame the parents that much. Yeah, we could sometimes, because sometimes, what is the average advice parents give to their daughters? Go and marry a rich man. So because you are from a poor home.
You don't have to suffer. But what they forget is, when you marry a rich man, automatically you are not rich.
No, but in a way, you can bring that some of the thing on them.
You see, riches is a mindset. If you have the bad mindset
about money, 10 million will be given to you.
And they even gave you all the inheritance, you still mismanage them and lose them at the end of the day. So sometimes it is about the psyche of the brain that majority of us will need. And you see, one thing I always also talk about is that the journey of success is very tough. And therefore, when you decide to embark on it, you have to mute the background noise.
The journey of success
is tough.
So if you decide to embark on it, you have to mute the background noise. What the heck does that mean?
I.e., social media. Don't be looking around. Who is ahead of? Don't be doing that. Because you can't focus.
Right. Because you are going somewhere, then you are looking around. Hey, who has acquired this? Who is now buying this? Then now the money that is supposed to build you up, you'll be distracted to use that money to try to impress others.
That is it. Because mute the background noise.
That's
and focus and run on your own pace. Because you can't. You see, one disadvantage in life is that successful people have connections. You can be in the same class with someone, and business is waiting for them to complete school for them to just enroll.
Yeah.
So you can't. If you have the connection, it's good. But if you don't, and You'll be focused on, hey, we competed together, this person is getting married. And then you can't focus on your own mission. And sometimes you need to put the phone down too.
And that's a difficult one, no?
Yeah, I know, but put it down.
So it's the whole thing is a mindset thing.
You see the point?
Because I'm on social media. We are on social media. But there's nothing that I see on social media that pressurizes me.
That is it.
To go and spend money on something I don't see value for.
You see the point?
So it's the mindset thing generally at the end of the day.
And then the next thing I would want to talk about is stop following blindly. Look, let's look at this illustration.
Okay.
Imagine a sand car, that heavy truck.
Yeah.
And maybe you are on the road, and this heavy truck is in front of you.
Okay.
And maybe you are using the Umetis, following this car. Can you see ahead of the car?
No.
Why?
Yeah, because it has blocked your view.
You see the point?
And it's bigger than you.
It's bigger than you, so you can't see. So sometimes it's good to have mentors and all that. But when you start following people blindly, this person has done this, I want to. You see, they are big. They are already big in the system. So when they are ahead of you and you are following them to do whatever they are doing, because they are seeing what is ahead of them.
And you don't know.
You don't know because maybe they are seeing ahead. So maybe he has actually saved some money up, and the rest that he's using to pap. Or he has an inheritance. Because he is able to see in front, he knows what is ahead.
You are taking your last breath.
You see, you are following blindly. You'll be taking all the wrong moves.
Right.
And those that drive that heavy truck, they are very stubborn people. If you try to overtake them, they can crash.
They'll bully you. They can bully you. Yeah.
So sometimes we should, you see, that's why I say, run at your own pace. Majority of the time, it saves you some level of contentment, and the jealousy dies down eventually.
That's true. And then you don't go through stress because you are at peace.
That is it.
You do what you can do. Yeah, people may laugh at you, but it's okay. Once it gives you peace of mind.
You see, let me bring this in. You see, when Stephen was a disciple of Jesus Christ, and when Jesus Christ went into the crowd and there was this discussion, he said, "Before Abraham, I was."
Yeah.
And he nearly was stoned to death, and he escaped.
Yeah.
Stephen was not around, but he heard of the story. But do you know, interestingly, that Stephen also got stoned to death?
Yeah.
He heard of what Jesus Christ did, and he tried to copy same. But he was captured because the success of your the person ahead of you is not automatically inherited by
because
you, the one following.
Okay. So it means you got to tread cautiously and understand that what is working for somebody may not work for you.
Thank you. May not. I like the word may not.
The favor on somebody may not be yours. The fact that somebody is pulling up in something does not mean you have to also pull up in that.
Maybe before Jesus Christ had, maybe before Jesus Christ escaped, maybe he counted a number of people at his right side and left. And
he counted his exit.
Thank you. And said, "Nah, let me pass here."
But he couldn't scout.
But you think that it's just by running away? No, they will capture you. They will capture you because they'll follow you. Because you are running with your legs, they'll follow you up. You see the point?
Wow. So I mean, it's a really serious issue that we have to talk about. Let the youth understand that this life, you are on your journey.
Yes.
You are on your journey.
Each person has to have a specific plan for themselves. That's why I say you have to be intentional. The fact that somebody is using another means to make money or fortune does not necessarily mean that you could also use the same means, the same procedure to do it.
Yeah, we've seen that before a lot of time. There are people who are like, this is now the new product people are selling. Let me go and buy and sell. Or people are doing import and export. Let me also start importing things. Then they will import the thing nobody is buying. Because you didn't do any research. So, I mean, because every time I sit on social media and I look at people talking, the youth, and the life people are living, it's like everybody wants to show the day.
You see,
but you are just dying.
One thing about Africa too is that our leaders don't help us in so many ways.
How?
Recently, a rich man came out and said he has washed 5,000 plates.
Yeah.
If it is any serious country, you would have been invited and give him the 5,000 plate, and camera will be set on him.
No.
And then he will
relax. You see, the problem in Africa here is that there is no proper documentation.
And
so when people become wealthy and successful, they count the struggle that they have gone through, not necessarily what they did to become wealthy.
Okay.
I want you to get this well.
Okay.
In Africa here, when wealthy or rich people are talking about their success, they are not telling you what they did that made them money. That's what nobody has really shared that. What they did to make them money. What they rather share is the struggle they have to go through. So somebody said they were selling PK in traffic. Somebody saying they were washing 5,000 plates. Somebody saying they have to walk from Kumasi to Accra. They are not telling you what they did to become successful. You see,
that's why I'm saying that I understand where you are also coming from.
So they are not telling you that was what gave them money, but they are just sharing their struggle with you. So we shouldn't misinterpret their struggle with what they actually did to make money. Because I can guarantee you, I don't know how many so-called wealthy people in this country who have really said what they did to make money.
So it comes back to the point that the people in position are now saying that the youth are lazy. So if somebody who is currently maybe successful or rich is telling you that he washed plate 5,000 and you are not willing to wash, eventually that's what he's going to say, that you are a lazy man. But when a camera is put on him and he can't, now you know, I took this story, but I didn't realize that this is how it's going to go.
That's the problem here in Africa.
You see the point, because there's no proper accountability and documentary, as you said.
In Europe, like we were saying, in Europe, there are autobiographies and biographies. Mark Zuckerberg, like the life is there. People are there to narrate the story, and everything is documented. It can be seen. So you know exactly how Facebook became Facebook. WhatsApp became WhatsApp. Microsoft became Microsoft. Amazon became Amazon. You know. So they share what they did to become successful. Our people here share their struggle, not what they did to become successful. And that is the issue. So because they think they sell PK, or they hawk in traffic, or they wash 5,000 plates, so everybody has to wash 5,000 plates.
Other than that, you're a lazy man.
Otherwise, you're lazy. No. I don't need to wash 5,000 plates. You are sharing your struggle, not the blueprint of what made you successful. What did you do? Where did you go? Who did you speak to? What connections did you have? How much money did you make? How did you invest that money first? Don't tell me you have to wash 5,000 plates. Don't tell me you have to walk from Kumasi to Accra. Those are your struggles. Tell me, your first 1,000 cedis, what did you do with it? How did it multiply? Like, what is the development? Because when I'm looking at Mark Z, I'm looking at Jeff Bezos, I'm looking at Elon Musk, I'm looking at all of these people, Bernard Arnault and co. I am seeing the first 1,000 they made, what they did with it, and how it has grown. And that is the problem I have in this country.
But I also think that with that piece of information, that is sacred to them. Because you see, blueprint to success is limited to a lot of people.
That's the thing.
Because when you open it up and all the fools in the country also become rich, then the society we all live in become chaotic.
Because there was a story that someone said, Henry Ford once said, if he shows everyone how to make money, who will work in his factory?
That was very profound. And
that is the truth. So
the raw truth.
The wealth is guarded. Until you reach a certain level, then you'll be allowed to come in.
You
to see.
Because when all of us become successful too, is very, very, very.
Is that not why the youth are now trying to figure life on their own, so they don't go with the traditional way? Because they think, hey, Charlie, let me visit some mall and be here. Or let me do some sports betting because I can quickly make some money. Are these not also something contributing to that?
They are. Sure, they are.
And that is the problem I have. In my opinion, I think that our wealthy people in this country must empower the youth.
Okay.
I've never seen any wealthy person in America, in Europe, in Asia saying that the youth are lazy.
Okay.
They have foundations.
Because you see, with them, the system is there. So it's a choice whether you poor or rich.
Yes.
You see, the system.
But then, irrespective of the system is not good, those people create platforms to empower people,
Others.
train people, develop people. But this place, and no one say, somebody has gone somewhere spreading money. No. That's why you don't see those things outside. Outside, what you see is empowerment.
Yes.
So somebody doesn't see a celebrity and is looking for money.
No. Yeah.
Because that celebrity might have created a foundation that is empowering people, mentoring people, training people, showing people how to become successful. And I think that is what has to be included here in Ghana. That our wealthy people, so-called, our successful people, so-called, must come back and empower the next generation. Instead of sitting on the sideline and saying the youth are lazy, how about empower us?
Okay.
Teach us, guide us. This is what you do. This is what you do.
See, all these things can happen when there are willing hearts to learn.
Does it mean the youth are not willing to learn?
Majority of them, yes. Because you see, Ghanaians have this unique way of telling you no in a disguised way.
Okay.
Because a rich man cannot wake up overnight and decide to call you. You have to show him some level of loyalty.
Okay.
To them. You see, the trademark to success is very, very, very secretive and sacred. It is actually guarded. So for someone to actually open up, because you see, success is something that it is very limited to people. When you open it up and everybody becomes successful, now respect in the society diminish. Because right now, let's be honest. If you are seated on $1,000 or $10,000, and I'm also seated on $10,000, you can't command me around like that. Even if you mentored me to make that money, once the 10,000 is in my possession and you're also in possession of, you can't be ordering me like you. You see the point? So there has to be some level of loyalty, some level of servanthood. Which is lacking in many of the youth. That I know. You would open a business, you employ someone, they come in and they want to also open their business
in your business. Or they find other illegal means to cut your business off.
You employ someone, at the end of the month, he is taking home more than you are because of the skirmish and aunties and tractis. You see the point? And they will say, Gen Z strategy. Obi fe we juma if I dream didi. You see, funny face also came out to say if I dream didi, if I would didi. You see, I know that his own is purely correct and all that. But others also listen to these songs because you see, music is a very powerful tool.
Yeah. That's true.
If the role of Satan in heaven was a chief cherub, Oba absent them say one jam proud because
Omo yami to me interested.
Yami niaji Oba absent kekeke say jai Satan. So you see this point. So sometimes for somebody to give you the blueprint to success, there has to be some level of servanthood, because it even in the Bible.
Wait, why is it that the wealthy people outside, they are not like that?
No. Okay.
And they document their life. Some people even have movies on their life. And you know what they did. So you can adopt that same blueprint, learn the principles in it. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I need. I need to see, you made your first $1,000. Then you did this. You didn't, when you made your first $1 million, you didn't buy a new car. Rather, you put that money into what? An investment. And waited 10 years later or 5 years later before buying your dream car. Those are the principles for success.
In outside, the rich are not interested in competitiveness.
Oh, they are.
I understand.
But not at the level that we have here.
I am richer. Let's have it. You will not find them argue, I'm richer than this person, This is my possession. I'm wearing diamond. They don't need validation. You see the point?
No, you see, that's the issue. So it's inferiority complex that causes people to do that.
The black man thinks that the only way his fellow black man will submit to him is only at the instance that he is still richer than you. It is part of us. You see, you can't destroy something you love.
Yeah.
Something that gives you joy, you can't.
Yeah, that's true.
There are some people, their wealth is what gives them the confidence they lack, and compliment them. There are some people, that's what they,
if not the money,
all they have is their wealth.
Yeah. If that is not what they have, nobody would regard them for anything. Yeah, that's true.
And even in our localities here in Africa, when you go to the hospital, you are treated the way you appear there. You see the point? So money plays a huge role in Africa, but outside there, it is not respected because the poor man can also get a car loan.
That's true.
He's living in an apartment without even paying 2-3 years advance
monthly,
and he can file for bankruptcy, and he can go there social support. You see the point? So the way they perceive success and riches is totally different from the way
we have it here.
We have the view of it. You see the point? So the rich is skeptical to tell you how he got rich, because if you see him and say, yes, Amasa, he's in his car and you are gallivanting, and he say, oh, Bosu, and you greet, and he takes the praises and the glory. The next time when he show you the blueprint or the way, and maybe he's in a Rolls Royce and he also went and bought Chivon, you wave him with your left hand. Yes, sir.
No more.
They don't like that. Equality is what is killing Africans. We don't like to be equal with people that maybe we grew up together, or we see them as competitors. We have to outgrow them. We see them as threat. We see our fellow human beings as a threat to us.
So really, it's not like the youth are not hardworking. Yes, to some extent we can say.
Yeah.
But then the issue is our system does not really reward hard work.
Yes.
In a way.
Yes. A teacher will teach for how many years and go on pension and take how
much money? Yeah.
Home.
Some miserable amount of money.
Who?
After teaching for 30-40 years.
Hey. Obe we no anya BP. 25,000, 30,000. You see the point? So the spirit is no more there to do what is right. To do what is right in Ghana here, you have to be very strong.
And that's the problem, because you see, even the so-called people who are successful, we've seen many of them when they got into trouble. Then the video of them came, they were standing at the pulpit or standing somewhere telling people, oh, do this, do that.
Yeah.
Then behind the scene, they are involved in some shady deals, some illegal things. So then don't come and say the youth are lazy, or they just want to say that to comfort themselves.
That's what I'm talking about. You see, the black man only feels satisfied when he's able to put the next black man down. That's why this empowerment, they don't listen. The only people they would want to empower is their offspring, their children, their family, so that the way they rule over you, their children
will come and rule over your children. So it's a generational thing.
That is it, because you have to serve them. You have to.
So if you don't come to the point where, as a youth, you break yourself free from the system and find a path that works for you, and be patient.
Yeah.
And understand that, I believe by the grace of God, I can build something significant, but it's going to take me 20 years or 15 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to be patient and build it. If we don't have people doing that, then we will continue to have the kind of society that we have.
Yes. The stagnation among we the youth, about 90% of it, I meant financial stagnation. About 90% of it is coming from our own choices in life.
That's very true.
You see another friend of yours or a fellow human being, your mate, Maybe you people come out from the same year from school. He has 2 girlfriends. Renting. Maybe he should be staying with his parents. He's renting. How are you going to make it when you are making salary of, let's say, 1,500? And you have 2 girlfriends. Then this new cloth,
you want to buy new phone. You want to buy.
So you
weekends. You want to go to the club and go and chill.
And they come out with this all
work and no play, make jacket.
That's what you've been saying. That
yeah.
How long have you worked?
How what have you worked for?
How long?
You don't have anything in your bank account. You want to play?
You are also quoting
Maxi Christ not saying that, bro.
All work and no play,
make jacket, dull boy. You know, some statements are just crafted to continue to enslave people.
That is it.
In their stupidity.
You see the point. So majority of the time, instead of them to invest on developing themselves, it might not always be education.
Yes.
Learn a trade.
Right.
If you think education is not helpful.
Or now with a lot of online free schools available.
You see some youth packed together, they are going to play football, and then 4 years, 3 years, you are still at the same state.
Oh God.
You can't put this on the government.
That's true. That's true.
You see, so sometimes we should actually look at the decisions that we also make. And we have to have a plan.
So the mindset's very key.
Yeah.
Making sure that we make the right decisions.
Yes.
Manage our life well.
Yes.
Discipline is very important because success has to build over time.
Yes.
We need to walk on our path because we are on a different path.
Yes.
Then we need to what you just mentioned.
Muting the
background noise. Because whether you like it or not, the noise is going to be there. But you have to decide and mute it yourself so that it doesn't become an issue.
And don't follow the big trucks. The heavy trucks in front of, don't follow, because that's following blindly. You can't see ahead of them. You cannot see.
Mind your business.
You see, you cannot see ahead.
Because seriously, sometimes I sit down and we've said this over and over again, right? Sometimes I sit down, I'm like, there are certain things I can do, right? There are certain things I can buy.
Yeah.
There are certain places I can go. But at the end of the day, I ask myself, okay, so when you buy this thing, now you're done.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking like, okay, that money could have been invested into something else.
Yeah.
That will make me more money.
Yeah.
So why? What am I looking for? It's not like the thing will give me any satisfaction.
Yeah.
It's not about status game.
Yeah.
So if people don't come to that level where they really mute that, because that noise is very loud.
Yes. Yes.
Then they can't become successful.
And you have to also be very decisive. You see, when I read the Bible, sometimes I just fall back and laugh. Why? And the answer is very simple. Listen, when Satan rebelled against God, God could have said, Jayo, munja non kotenasi. But when Angel Gabriel and Michael took the spear, God didn't stop them. And God is omnipresent. He was there watching. Remember, did God say that? No. He was seated there watching. So sometimes you have to be very decisive when it comes to people who are retrogressing you.
So you have to be careful to walk away from certain relationship grapple.
That is it.
That will not add value. Although it will be painful now, it will rather make your life better
in the future. It's like going in for a relationship. I think, for example, when you are going into a relationship, the most important things for you to discuss is show the woman your dream. This is what I want to accomplish.
How can you help?
How can you help? And show me yours.
How can I help you?
How can I help?
Awesome. Not this nonsense of breast buttons. What's that? BBL and breast.
You see the point? You see, someone said something, and I fall back and I was like, is it that life is beyond marriage? Because life is not about marriage.
Yeah, that's true.
It's beyond marriage.
That's true.
So sometimes the dream is, you see, when it is all said and done, it is properties and legacies that you are going to leave to your children. not the woman you married. You can't give your wife's buttocks as inheritance to your children. You cannot do that.
Lord have mercy on this guy. Lord have mercy. Uchra, you can't give your wife buttocks as an inheritance to your children. Holy shit.
So you see,
so we are following things that are frivolous, things that don't have value, things that actually become depreciated in life.
And then you are chasing these things and you want to be successful.
How?
So if you marry the woman because of the buttocks, your children are going to say, Papa, where Jimmy? They're going to say it. And fact is fact. Until where Jimmy, no.
All right. I think that's impressive, because really these are the things that are weighing a lot of the youth down. People are focusing on things they are not supposed to focus on. People are pursuing things they are not supposed to pursue.
A lot of men, when they have erection, they think what has to follow is ejaculation, which is wrong. You see, so sometimes you have to, success and being something very meaningful in society or becoming someone has to come with a lot of sacrifices and decisions, and be very disciplined on a high level. The fact that you have an erection is not a justification for an ejaculation.
And that's where self-control, because all of these things actually boil down to self-control, which is a key characteristics of every successful person I know. Being able to say no, although you can say yes. Being able to walk away, although you want to do something.
There is this friend of mine, when he goes and gets a contract and he takes salary or is being paid, if he does not ejaculate, it's either he return the money to where he took it or he will not take the money because he has to.
It's a constant thing.
I bet any ritual.
Jesus Christ.
So there's no discipline. So you can't build something meaningful when you are not disciplined.
That's true. Right, guys. So let's hear from you in the comment section. What do you think the youth must do? Here in Ghana, we have followers coming in across the continent of Africa as well. What's going on in your country? What do you think the youth must do so that we can really build a better life at the end of the day? Because we have to become successful. But the key thing on today's podcast that we are really taking away is that we need to have the right mindset. We need to discipline ourselves. We need to build our life, focus on a dream. We need to be able to mute the background noise because it's very important, which means we cannot just follow what we are seeing on social media. We are all on a different journey. Today may be someone's day. Maybe tomorrow will be your day. And then we need to be patient. Success doesn't happen overnight. But if we are patient and be willing to work hard, by the grace of God, over 10 years, over 20 years, we can make something significant out of our life. Yes, the system may not be friendly, but that doesn't mean there is nothing we can do to become successful. And if we can discipline ourselves and not give our strength to women, I'm not saying women are bad, all right? It's our decision. The woman didn't ask you to come and propose to her. She was walking by and you invited her, and she's giving you what she wants. So we have to control ourselves, learn to say no, know the point at which you can reach and say, this bill I'm not paying, this lady I'm not following, this time is my time. If we can do this, then we can become successful definitely at the end of the day. So thanks for joining the podcast. Let's hear from you in the comment section. Any questions you have, and then any other thing that you want us to cover on the podcast, any questions you have for Miguel or for me, put it in the comment section. Remember to like, subscribe, and share the video, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.